Hello and welcome to Math 2412. This is pre-calculus for summer one. I'm Professor Algio, and so I just kind of wanted to introduce myself and go over our D2L page and just kind of explain what to expect. And so here we are. This is our page right here. Here's where you'll see announcements. And once I'm done with this video, I'm going to put the link right here. And so when you come here, when we click on content, here we are. Let's go start at the top. So here's our syllabus. I'm going to go over that in just a moment. Then I have the calendar. And then we have a e-textbook. So you do not need to purchase a textbook. It's going to be supplied for you. One of our professors built that a couple of years ago, and it's great. It's free. And then here's a link for the lecture videos that go with the text, and we'll look at that also. And then I have some additional printouts and resources. And then down here is where you can submit your exam work for to receive partial credit. And I'll go over all that in a moment. So let's just kind of go in order. So I'm going to start with the syllabus. So if you click here and click on this link, it will open. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up in my, oh, I accidentally did the calendar. Let me go back. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see, syllabus. Oops, I accidentally posted a calendar as syllabus. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and open up the PDF and I'll fix that later. Okay, so here we are. So as far as office hours, we can meet up on WebEx. You just let me know, just send me an email. But honestly, what students typically do is they'll just send me an email with a screenshot or just be very uh, specific about what question you're having a hard time with on your homework, and I will make you a video and send it back to you. And so that's the most popular way that students like to interact. Also, I will be on campus Monday through Thursday, and so I have class in the morning, but I have a little time in the afternoon for office hours. I can stay later than this. You just have to contact me ahead of time if you want to meet after 11:30 Monday through Thursday. But like I said, typically most students will just shoot me an email and kind of tell me what they're having a hard time with, and I shoot them back a video, and it seems to work well. All right, so no textbook required. Like I said, it's supplied for free. As far as a calculator, you don't need a graphing calculator, but they are helpful. And so I wouldn't go out and spend a lot of money on a calculator. There's a lot of free ones out there you can use online. Desmos, a lot of people like that one. Um, so, all right, moving on. Let's see. So grades. So the way this is going to work is you'll have these homework checks, and that's going to be 15% of your overall grade. Then we have four regular exams. That's going to be 65%. And then we have a final exam, which is going to be 20%. And here's the grade breakdown. All right, and so I'm not going to read this to you, but you might want to read the grade policy just to kind of make sure you understand what the expectations are. So homework checks, there's about 22, 23 of them or so, and I will drop the lowest two at the end of the semester. The homework checks are typically about 10 questions, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, and you will get 3 attempts for each homework check. And so if you do it the first time and you're really struggling, that would be the time you might want to reach out to me so we could try to get this fixed before you use up all of your attempts. And so, anyways, well, I will show that to you also in a moment. I'll pull one up just so you can kind of see what they look like and what to expect. There's also homework that is going to be in the textbook. That will be optional, but that will be some good extra practice, though, in preparation for the exams. The exams, I do give you a outline, and the outline is based off of the textbook. But the textbook homework in there is very similar to the homework checks you'll see in D2L. Okay, the exams. So we're going to have four regular exams. They're going to be completed in D2L, and for each one, you'll be given a 3-hour time limit. and you just need to make sure you complete it before the deadline. So let's say the deadline is, Sunday at midnight. You need to make sure you begin it by 9 p.m. if you want to make sure you have that whole 3 hours. Now, obviously, I'm going to recommend that you don't wait till the last minute in case something goes wrong, but just kind of keep that in mind. Now, for regular exams, we won't have any makeups, but I will replace your lowest regular exam score with how you perform on the final exam. So, if you happen to do poorly on one of the four exams, it will get replaced by the final exam as long as it's higher than your lowest regular exam score. Here are just some of the exam policies. It will be open notes. You can use your calculator. That's fine. It needs to be your work. That's the most important thing. So partial credit. Okay, so the way that works is this will be optional. You have to submit your work. You have to submit your work in D2L to have the opportunity for partial credit. So let me go back to D2L to show you that. So if you go down here, exam 1, 2, 3, 4, and the final exam submissions. So this is not required, but if you want to have the opportunity for partial credit, you have to come in here and upload your work, and it needs to be uploaded within an hour of finishing your exam. And just make sure you read through this. I know it's kind of long, but make sure you read through it and make sure you submit it properly. Okay, I don't want to get, 4 or 5 different attachments. I want it as a single attachment. And there's just some information about different apps you can use to submit it if you don't have a scanner. You can use your phone. And so, anyways, just read through that. I would take advantage of that if I were you. As far as partial credit goes, I mean, sometimes students get 2 or 3 points back, but sometimes students get 7, 8, 9 points back. So it can make a big difference in the end. All right, so back to our syllabus. All right, so this just once again kind of outlines how I'd like you to submit your work. All right, and let's see. So participation, basically, it's just expected that you participate and you don't get behind. If you do, then you risk the possibility of being dropped. Now, it's not guaranteed, so if you just stop doing your work and you assume I'm going to drop you, you don't want to do that either. All right, so when emailing, just make sure you kind of let me know who you are because I am teaching multiple courses this summer. So just make sure you tell me what class you're in and so on. Accommodations. So if you have any accommodations, please make me aware of that as soon as possible, just so I can make sure I'm meeting those. And then here are the makeups. I already told you that, so no makeups, but I will replace your lowest regular exam score with your final exam if it's higher. The withdrawal date, the last day to withdraw would be June 29th if you decide that that's in your best interest. And I think most of this other stuff is pretty standard for syllabi. And so if you have any questions, you just can email me and reach out and I'll try to answer those questions for you. But I think that does it for the syllabus. So let's take a look at the calendar. So on the calendar here, we have starting right here, so June 5th. So read the syllabus. So like I said, I kind of went through it quickly, so you'll definitely want to look through that. There is an orientation quiz, and then we also have a trig review. And I have some videos that will help you to complete the prerequisite quizzes, and I'll show you where to find those. And then starting here, and the way I paste this calendar is I kind of paste it as though if this class were meeting in person. It's not, it's an online course, but this would be the pace that I would go if we were meeting in class 4 days a week during a normal summer session. So the only due dates that are firm are going to be the ones here that are highlighted. So all the homework associated with exam 1 is going to be due on June 16th, which is actually a Friday over here. It's missing on the calendar. And so that's the last day the exam is available for the Unit 1 exam. So everything prior to this is Unit 1. And then starting on the 13th, you can take that exam up until the 16th. But as you can see, I move on in the calendar and we move on to our second unit. And then we do have a holiday on the 19th, so I didn't put anything there. And then so on. And then exam 2 is available from the 22nd to the 25th. And then once again, all the homework that's associated with exam 2 would be due on that 25th. You know, don't wait, pace yourself. And so this will kind of give you an idea of the pace you want to go. And then same thing for Unit 3 and Unit 4. So the Unit 4 exam, the last day to take that would be June 10th, and then June 11th would be our final exam. And so you'll have all day to take that one. And I probably will make it available starting on the 10th in case you want to take it early. So I'll probably open it up for 2 days. All right, so that's our calendar, kind of gives you an idea of how fast you want to move. Now let's go back to D2L. So let's see, course calendar. So there's the course calendar. I just need to change that to the syllabus, and I'll do that. Let's see, our textbook is right here. I'll go ahead and open that up. Now I do kind of jump around in the textbook a little bit. And so the next document I'm going to show you will have the video links, and then it will also have the page numbers so you can know where to go in the textbook. So here's our textbook here. So you can jump around here to find your page numbers if you need to right there. So let's go back to content and let's look at the video links. So I just created a PDF file that has all the video links here. So I'm going to open that up. And so here, these have hyperlinks to them. So you just have to click on it and it will open it for you. And so this is trig equations part 1. So now be careful, that's not the review part. So see up here, trig equations part 1, trig equations part 2, and so on. There is a trig review, and there's actually an algebra review also that will need to be completed. Oh yeah, let me point that out. On June 8th, that is when the orientation quiz is due, and the algebra prereq quiz, and the trigonometry prereq quiz is due. So you want to make sure and knock those out. Hopefully just try to knock them out on day 1, but I give you until June 8th to have those completed. Okay, so back to here. All right, so all you have to do, so this will tell you where to find it in the text, but if you want to pull up the video, you just have to click on the link right here, and there we go. So it pulls up the video. And there you go. All right, let me go back. So that's where you can access all the video lessons for the course right here. And you can see I have it broken into units. So unit 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then all the page and the work is right here. So these assignments are actually optional. These won't be graded, but you're more than welcome to complete them and ask questions about them. It's going to be very similar to what you'll see in D2L, which I'll show you in a moment. So let's go back to content. So here, additional printouts and links. So here's some basic trig summary sheet. You might want to print that out, the unit circle and so on. Hopefully the unit circle sounds familiar. But here are the algebra and trig review videos. So if you click here, there's a bunch of them, but all the videos are fairly short. They're typically about 5 minutes or less. So there's a bunch of them, but they're fairly short, and each one pertains to a topic that you'll see on the prereq quizzes. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to that next. So if you want to go find your quizzes, you just click on course activities and then click on quizzes. And so here are our current quizzes that are available. So you have your orientation quiz, you have your prereq algebra quiz, and then we have our prereq trigonometry quiz. And then here's where the homework checks are, and they will pop up soon in D2L, but here they are. So You've got part one, part two, your parabolas, ellipses, hyperbolas, and then you have your exam one. And then we move on to unit two and so on. So let's go ahead and look at one of these. So let's see, we'll go to preview. And let's start quiz. And so you can see this one has 11 questions. So this one's reviewing the quadratic formula. And so if you recall it, great. You'll knock it out pretty quick. If not, you go back and you need to just watch some of those review videos to kind of review some of the stuff, because it's going to make a big difference when we start the pre-cal material. So this one says solve the following equation by factoring. So we got to be pretty good at factoring. Okay, let's see. Solve by the square root method, so on. So this is all a review of algebra here. Okay, and so some of them are multiple choice, some are going to be free response. Make sure you read exactly how they want the answer to be put in there. Typically, there's an example shown how to type it. So just be careful about that. And then some more kind of multiple choice type responses. So you'll see that there'll be a mixture. All right, so I'm going to exit here. And so just to kind of review, so those are the prereq quizzes. If you need help with those, you just click on additional printouts and links, and then there's an algebra and trig review page right here. And here are the videos for that. So quadratic formula, square root method, factoring polynomials, simplifying rational expressions, and so on. And then here are the trigonometry reviews of the unit circle, quadrant check, reference angles, and so on. So all that stuff is going to make a big difference if you review that ahead of time when we start the pre-cal material. The last thing I think I need to mention is the exam study guides. They're going to be here under study guides. They won't be available until a couple days prior to the exams, so you won't actually see all these. They'll be hidden until probably about 2 or 3 days before the exam becomes available. And they're just little study guides that should help you in preparation for the exam. And so I think other than that, that's probably covers most of it. And so if I missed anything, or if you have any questions that you need clarified, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm gonna be happy to make videos for you. You just have to, if you need help, you just have to ask for the help, and I'll be more than happy to work with you. And so I just look forward to having a good semester, and don't be a stranger.